Utah real estate. You are sitting there, probably watched 6 or 7 videos. You're like, what does the Utah real estate market look like? Well, we're going to talk about it today. If you haven't been to this channel before, this is who I am. And if anybody tells you that they have unique, specific information that other channels don't have, that's dumb. Not attacking anybody. I'm just saying that's a dumb statement. And any information any real estate agent, as long as they're good enough, can kind of explain to you. Don't know why I went on that rant, but basically, let's talk about some median sold value. Let's talk about homes on market. Let's talk about all this stuff. And then on top of that, I'm just going to give you an update on the real estate market here in Utah. Take it as you will. Other than that, my name is Paden Fairbanks. I'm a real estate agent, service southeastern Idaho, western Wyoming, and northern Utah. If you're looking to buy or sell a house, I appreciate you bringing up my name. I appreciate you talking to me. If you want a monthly newsletter on the status of the Utah real estate market and all the stats, if you want all the documents that I've been posting, text or email me your email address and I'll add it to you. Super simple. Other than that, we'll just jump right on into it. Let's talk about interest rates. Whew. So interest rates right around 6.899%. They're going to go up or down according to your credit score and your lender, but they're all going to be right around there. That's your average right there. On top of that, this is not necessarily the highest they've ever been. They've been all the way up to 8% at one moment in time, but 6.899% absolutely is higher. You can see that they were back at 6.9% at the end of November, but they've consistently been below this all the way up until these last couple weeks. In February, they've started been going up a lot. That's going to mean demand is going to go down quite a bit, going up that half a credit point or half a percentage point. So right now would probably be an interesting time to submit an offer because you're going to have less competition than you would have even really seen a month ago, I believe. But also on top of that, as we start getting into spring, things start warming up, more people are going to be likely to start submitting offers because this is the slowest time of year. December, January is the slowest time. February is pretty darn slow. And then March, it'll start warming up a little bit. As for some stats, just to kind of help you understand in general some of these stats. So median sold price year over year is up about 7%. And by year over year, I mean that January of 2023, median sold value is $455,000. January of 2024, it's $485,000. This isn't the most accurate way to predict home prices or to show home prices, but in general, you're going to see that home prices are going up as compared to 1 year ago at this time. Year over year, if you take the entire 2022 compared to the entire 2023, you can see the home prices in 2023 went down about 4%, 3% in the state of Utah, but it looks like they're starting to go back up. Year to date, 0%, because January of 2024 to January of 2024, home prices didn't go up at all. And then month over month, they're up about 2%. That's basically saying December of 2023, they're $475,000. January of 2024, they're $485,000. I do want you to notice, though, that 2023 was more of a standard year than we'd seen in a long time. There was a lot of increases, 475 to 490, and then there were some decreases as well, like 493 to 490. And so having that fluctuation really is a great indicator that the market is starting to level out quite a bit and going back to a standard cycle where home prices dip a little bit in the winter and then go up in the summer and then dip a little bit and go up. That's like super standard information, so I'm sure you've heard that a million billion times before. But next thing, homes sold, demand. So year over year, the amount of homes that sold or demand increased by 11% if you compare January of 2023 to January of 2024. Those numbers basically look like 2,220 for January of this year and then 2009 last year. Seeing an increase in demand is an indicator that more people are buying a house, and if inventory doesn't increase the same way or more, it's going to be an indicator of home prices increasing, which we'll talk about here in just a second. But month over month, it actually decreased by 14%. So the amount of homes sold in December of 2023 was 14% higher than the amount of homes that were sold in January of 2024. Interesting, easy peasy. Now we're getting the supply. I hope it's hard. It stinks all of this because I can't like have people ask me questions or sit there and be like, what do you think about this? So whatever questions you do have, comment them down below if you're wanting a more in-depth analysis or an understanding of what I'm trying to say. Comment them. I'll respond to them. I get like 10 to 15 views in all these, so I think I got the time. I don't know if that was mean to myself, doesn't matter. Homes listed, supply. Basically, the amount of homes listed increased by 15% year over year. So you'll see that between January of 2023, which was right here, which then we go over, was right around 3,270. And January of 2024 is 3,769. So inventory compared to a year ago has increased. So demand increased, inventory increased. They're kind of both in the same area. A super duper interesting thing to see is that month over month, supply actually increased 47%. So 2,564 homes were listed in December, 3,769 homes were listed in January, which is like a huge bump. And with interest rates decreasing, but now them increasing again, it'll be interesting seeing what happens with home prices. I genuinely think home prices are going to start going up this spring. I also think that demand is going to increase substantially. But there's one indicator showing that prices would go down. I don't believe it's a valid one, but well, it is valid because these are stats. But I would be aware that there are some statistics that point the other way. Days on market, you can see year over year. Compared to a year ago, January of 2023, homes are staying on the market 5 days less, indicating more demand, indicating homes are selling quicker. Month over month, so December to January, the amount of days homes are on the market is 6 days more, indicating that there's less demand compared to December, which is kind of what we're seeing across the board here. And then last thing, I always like to talk about this, list to sold value year over year increased by 4%. This is a good thing. It's different than days on market. This is meaning that list to sold value last year is 94%. This year it's at 97%, indicating that sellers have more realistic expectations on what their home would sell for. Once again, I want it up to 98, 99%, or 100% would be really great. But 97% is better than the 96%, which is the 1% increase that we had between December and January. So there you go. Those are the stats, just getting over them quick and dirty. I'm leaning back like a fat guy because I had to go look at some more stats to be able to add more to this video to give you a more complete picture. But I wanted to be super clear, and I like saying this just in general. It's okay if you're not buying a house. Home prices probably are going to go up, but it's better to have a larger down payment to make sure that your closing costs aren't as high if you're trying to do a 0% down program. Loans are just as complicated as buying a house, and so you got to use a lender that's skilled that can explain the differences between them all. 100%. You can do 0% down to buy a house, but just make sure if you're choosing that option, you understand that you're going to have higher closing costs and more debt that you have to pay off with your mortgage. But now you saw old Paden be a fat guy, let's look at this. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't quite know the way to interpret this information because I want you to notice that it's all following a standard trajectory for the amount of active listings. The highest point we had like 11,000 active listings at one point. And you can see that the trajectory is the same for last year, which is the black line, and the blue for this line. But you can see actually that there's more active listings compared to last year. So there's more inventory on the market, which is also interesting because there's less homes that are under contract as compared to last year. This is for sure an indicator that prices maybe they are not going to spike down. There's nothing saying that, but that the prices aren't as strong and that there could be a decrease in prices. Once again, I don't think it's this thing that we had happen last year or 2 years ago, but just very interesting to see in general. And I think it's very worth noting. So those are the stats. Those are what I wanted you to gander at and what I wanted to talk about today in general. Comment your questions down below. Comment stats that you'd like me to bring up every month so that you can understand where the market's at. The goal of this video, I need to be more entertaining. I need to be an entertaining guy. But we're just here talking about stats, and that's what I want this focus to be. And I want to be able to churn out these videos and get you the information that you want as quick as you can. So other than that, I'm a real estate agent. Contact me if you want to buy or sell a house. Just the greasy real estate agent stuff. And if you want to get on my newsletter for the monthly stats, that I do like a little newsletter thing, a little typey thing, and I give a little bit more of my Paden Blabberings on that, text or email me as well. Other than that, that's the Utah real estate market, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.